week or a couple of weeks where he had more issues than normal, let's say. He started to kick off a bit more. He would kick chairs, he would storm out the classroom, run out of the fire exit onto the playground, and I would speak to him and kind of say, you know, what's going on, what's wrong, and he wouldn't really communicate with me. He would just kind of say, oh, I don't really know. So at that point I kind of thought, well, I could kind of go to my senior leadership team or my university tutor and kind of ask for advice on how to deal with this child. But I thought, actually, no, I'll just speak to his mum and just kind of see if she knows of anything that's going on at home, maybe. So I spoke to her and I explained the problems I was having. And then she went home the next morning, she came in with the boy, and she was like, yeah, we solved it. He's basically finding English work really difficult because he had quite a low reading age. And she said, oh, I just need a bit more, he needs a bit more help kind of at the beginning of lessons so he understands what he needs to do. So I said, okay, well, how did you get that out of him? And she said, well, I spoke to him like I always do, as Keith Lemon, because that's someone that he really likes and he kind of warms to. And I was like, okay. And she said, yeah. So I wrote down some questions and kind of started with Oosh and kind of asked what was going on in his head, and he basically just explained that he was finding English very difficult. And obviously I was really appreciative of her for doing that, and I couldn't have done that with the boy because that's, you know, very unprofessional, and I wouldn't have known to have done something like that to kind of engage with him. But for me it just showed the importance of parents in a child's education. And from there, actually, we had a really, really good working relationship, because if I had any other problems with the boy in the future, I kind of spoke to her, and he knew that we were working together as a team because he'd seen us in that instance, kind of speaking to each other, recognising a problem and thinking about how can we tackle it and make it better. So if ever I had any problems in the future, I would kind of speak to her and say, oh, I've had a few issues with him this morning. And then she would take away pocket money or take away sweets at the end of the week or something. And then because he knew that we were working together as a team, he knew that I meant business, and if I said something in the classroom like, I'm going to tell your mum at the end of the day, and I did, he would generally kind of settle down a little bit and start to pay